Alrighty, hello everybody, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the intro. That's one of the things I actually worked on before I actually started recording the audio for this. So I finished all that, the intro, and script now, so now I'm going to read the script to you. And by read the script, I mean go over the script, because I don't do like voice or word for word scripts, because I just can't. It feels too fake, honestly. Anyway, today we're going to be looking at the Countess. In the background you should see some pretty alright footage. Some pretty good footage of me playing kind of less than alright. But that's okay. Editing, you'll see that the ability's being used well, hopefully, once we get to those. So to start, Countess, I guess that's her name, not a title in this case, it's kind of weird. Anyway, Countess is an assassin, that's her, like, class. The two aspects that she has are growth and corruption, so she can use all those cards plus all the general ones. Her basic attack is listed as a 2, ability is a 9, durability 1, mobility 7. I'm gonna actually probably agree with those fairly well here, and I'll go over why more towards the end. But let's jump into it. All the nitty-gritty stuff. So her primary attack, that's the right mouse button, is Slice. It deals 30 physical damage, and that's that. It will level up, obviously, as you use cards to get more damage, but we'll get to that later. Her primary ability, which is left mouse button, I'm gonna just say, yeah, primary ability, or left mouse button is Blade Siphon. It does 50 base damage, plus 20 damage per level of AoE damage directly around the Countess. Then it also has a passive which restores 1% of your health per enemy killed, and that's plus 1% per level. And then you also get 10 times whatever you have for killing an enemy hero. So let's say level 1 you kill an enemy minion, you get 1% of your health back. Level 2 you get 2% back. Level 3, so on. If you're level 4 and you kill an enemy hero, you get 40% of your health back, which is pretty good, not gonna lie. Pretty good. And that does stack with other, whatchamacallit, health stealing abilities. I don't remember what it's called. I'm too lazy to be bothered right now. Her secondary ability, this is Q, is Shadow Slip. It teleports her forward, leaving like almost a wraith where she was originally for 4 seconds. If you reactivate the ability within those 4 seconds, you will teleport back from where you are, wherever in the map, back to that original wraith that it leaves. When you teleport, you have to teleport to an enemy, and when you do that, it does a base attack damage thingy. It starts out at 25 and then gets 25 more per level. It also deals a slow, so it gives you whoever you attacked minus 80, plus, or rather minus 54 more per level. And that lasts for 1.5 seconds. It instantly kills minions, and yeah, that's it. It's really helpful. I'll get more to that later when I'm talking about kind of like the overall crap. Her tertiary ability, E, is Dark Tide. It just does damage in an area in front of her. Pretty decent amount too. It does 80 base damage, level 1, plus 50 per level. And that's AoE, so it does damage to everything in front. Again, I'll get back to this. And then her ultimate ability, which is R, default, is Feast, and it does a base damage of 315, and then gets plus 157.5 more damage per level. So your max damage there is, I believe, what is it? It's 3 something. 3. Hang on, I had it right here. 630. So I was close. There was a 3 in there. So that's a significant amount of damage. Okay, now that we've got all that stuff. Oh wait, I forgot something here. One thing about this to note. Once you start the attack, you get locked in. You can also only use this on enemy heroes. This isn't something you can use on minions. Only use on heroes. It locks you into the attack for the entire time, which means people can still hurt you, and you can't run away while you're doing this attack. and then there is a 0.75 second delay before you actually attack from when you start the attack. So you push R, click on a hero, you'll jump up, and it's 0.75 seconds before you actually start doing damage or do your damage to that person. So they have almost a full second to kill you before you can do any damage to them with this. So that's something to keep in mind. However, with that massive 630 damage, that's if you don't like level up. If you manage to get this to level 3 at level 1, as you level up, you should know, hopefully. If you don't, well, here you go. Your damage increases each time you level up. You get more health, you get more mana, you do more damage. That's just the way the game is set up. You also get more damage with the cards. There was one time, I don't remember the exact number, but I was doing around 1100 damage with this ultimate, which is just absurd. 1100 damage, but yeah. I'll just kind of like leave that there, let that sink in for a second. But 1100 damage with one ability. This can be really powerful if you use it right and use the right cards and yada yada. Now, really quickly, who is she effective against and who is she ineffective against? She's effective against everyone if you play it well, ineffective against everyone if you play poorly, but in all reality, she is an assassin. She's not meant to take on groups of heroes, so she's very ineffective against groups of heroes because it's very easy for them to gang up on you. You're very squishy, you have very little health. If you're attacking a group of people, especially solo, but even like with allies, unless you have more allies than enemies and you can kind of like hang around the fringes of the fight and pick off people that way, you want to avoid groups of enemy heroes. Another situation where she doesn't do too great is when it's a solo versus enemies or enemy. So 1v1, 1v2 type situation, you want to kind of stick away from those. Just generally because she doesn't have that much health. Most heroes can take her out pretty quickly. Like granted, if they're not that great of a player and they're gonna miss shots or whatever, sure, what the heck, they're gonna lose anyway. But yeah, so try to stay with allies or back behind enemies. So she's an assassin, which, you know, assassins, they're meant to, you know, get in, do a lot of damage, get out. But she doesn't do that much damage to heroes. You don't want to 1v1 heroes, so that leaves minions as the thing you're killing. This is one thing that I found was actually hugely amazing. If you run in, use your Dark Tide, which is the AoE, and then run up to the minions. So run up to the minions, use that, then immediately use your Blade Siphon, that's the spinning one. You can pretty much take out an entire group, like an entire little group of enemy minions, like in less than like 2 seconds. You just run in, do those two things, maybe hit the last two guys that were out of range a couple of times, and that group's done. This can really help your team a lot if you run up like back towards the inhibitors of the enemy team and just kill a couple of those every now and then while you're jungling and, you know, leveling up and all that crap. It can really hurt the enemy team, because what happens is if they're pushing up with a group of minions and they hit a tower and they fight, do some damage to the tower, and then back off once the minions are dead, and then just kind of like hang there waiting for the next group, and the next group doesn't come, your allies can just push up and totally wipe them out because they don't have anything to fall back on. Their safety net is just gone. It's not there. It doesn't come up like it's supposed to because you killed it already. So that's the best way I've found to use Countess, and then just kind of like stick around the fringes when you're attacking. Don't try to be in the middle of things because you won't last long. But yeah, that's really it for the Countess. As far as card stuff, I'm not really going to get into that because everyone has their own playstyle. I'm just kind of introducing you and recommending some tactics. Cards, play around with it till it fits you, and yeah, I hope this was helpful, informational, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Go ahead and leave a comment. That's honestly the thing that would help me the most. I don't really care that much about the likes and dislikes right now, but feel free to do that too. But please leave a comment telling me what you thought, what I could improve on, what I did well, what I didn't do well with the video specifically. Also, go ahead and hit me up with the, like, if you want to play with me or stuff, blah blah blah. Also, in the link, there's a link, or will be a link in the description. Actually, at the time you're watching this, there is a link. to the Discord server that I have set up, and hopefully all the bugs are worked out by now. So go ahead and jump down in there. I'm there most of the time, so if you want to hook up and play some games sometime or get a hold of me, that's probably the best way to do that. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. So I will see you guys later. Peace out.
I tried to fight